What's up, you guys? Stacey Ervin Jr. here. I threw up a question box on my Instagram story the other day, last week actually, and I asked you guys just to ask me some questions. It had been a minute since I've done a Q&A of any sort, so I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to ask me something that you wanted to know, kind of in an anything, ask me anything format. So I got a variety of questions about a variety of topics. So I'll just go through a few of them and try to group them. I guess try and knock out the ones especially that were asked repetitively, but also, there's some interesting ones that I got here too. So I'll give you some insight on those as well. Before we start, feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're staying plugged in with what we're doing here. And, it's just evolving and growing. So hop on, ride the wave. But let's get into it, right? Let's just go. Let's see what's up. I'm gonna just scroll through these and answer what y'all had on your mind. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and ask this one because I get asked very frequently about my dimensions, right? My height and weight and all that stuff. So someone asked, what's your height, age, weight? How long have you been training? He didn't ask for my weight actually here. Bicep size, chest size, body fat percentage, leg size. So I honestly don't really know the sizes, right? I don't really measure my biceps or my chest. Body fat percentage, I would say I'm probably sitting somewhere around 9 to 10% right now. That would make sense. I am 27 years old currently. I am 5'7". I weigh about 184 pounds right now. And I've been training for like the past 10, 11 years because I've been doing gymnastics since I was 6, which is another question that I had. How long have you done gymnastics? I've done gymnastics since I was 6 years old, but I've been doing, fitness, weightlifting, calisthenics, that kind of stuff, aside from gymnastics for about the past 11, 10, 12 years. So there's that one, right? So I'm 5'7", 180 to 184 pounds right now. So I hope that answers that question. And don't let it disqualify you from your own journey. Don't look at that and be like, oh, well, I'm taller or I'm shorter, I can never do it. It's an individual thing, right? Like you have to build yourself to your best self. Don't compare us. Don't compare apples to oranges. Like we're not the same, okay? So just stay on your journey. I got asked, do I have a morning ritual? Yes and no. In times when I'm pretty on top of my stuff, I do have a morning ritual. Consists of, and not always in this particular order, but simply put, breathe, read, write, and move. So that's meditation, that is journaling, that is reading, that is exercise or movement, whether that's stretching, a full-on workout, a morning walk, yoga, what have you. Those things are very centering for me, and those disciplines really help me stay on top of my stuff for the rest of the day, at least helping me set the frame, set the tone, set the attitude for the rest of the day. So breathe, read, write, and move, and brush your teeth. Don't forget that one. That's very important. That usually comes before the other 4. I got a couple of hair questions, right? Because everyone wants to know, what do I use in my hair? Yo, it's kind of hot in this room. What is the name? Free plug here, all right? And most of y'all, you're probably not even gonna get it. You're probably not even gonna go and get the hair products that I'm telling you to get because you're gonna look at it, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, you spend that much on hair product? But let me tell you, if you buy it, trust me, you can use it for a long time. It's called Iles Formula, ILES Formula. The shampoo, conditioner, and sometimes use the finishing serum, which I did today because my hair is popping and y'all love it and I love it. So Iles Formula, that's what I've been using in my hair for a while now. Shout out to my hairstylist, Rebecca, for putting me onto that. It's really high quality stuff and it nourishes my hair. So that's what I've been using. And someone asked, how have I been liking the blonde that I put in my hair? I'm really digging the highlights. I look at photos when I had all black hair and I'm like, it looks good, but I like this a lot more. It just adds a little bit of character, something fun, How long did you train and how did you get those bicep gains? Well, you see, again, I've been a gymnast since I was young, so my story's not that of, oh man, I used to be super big and like I lost all this weight and now like I'm super fit. My story is that of, I've always been active. I've always been involved in sports and athletics, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I've learned just as much along the way of how to keep, maintain, and progress my own levels of fitness and other people's, because it's an interest of mine. I invest in my own learning to make sure that I'm able to not just progress my own fitness, but my clients as well. So how did I get the bicep gains? To be honest, a lot of it comes from gymnastics. I'm pretty sure like all of the eccentric movements that I've done, parallel bars, rings, pommel horse, holding a eccentric contraction forces the muscle to be contracted, but in an elongated, form. So when I flex, like I just did there, it's super compact and, my arms are pretty jacked. So partially gymnastics, partially the fact that I continue to work out extremely diligently. That's how I got the bicep gains. What made you want to get into gymnastics? You see, I actually saw a classmate of mine in kindergarten, very young, in kindergarten, do a back handspring. And as a child, you're pretty fearless. And I was like, oh, yo, that was dope. I think I could do it. And so I tried it. I got some pretty good mimicking skills. I'm a very visual learner, and I was already athletically inclined. And so he did a back handspring. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could do that. Like, that's awesome. So he was like, here's a couple pointers. And then I just went for it, and I did a back handspring. And then I was like super impressed with myself. So I started doing back handsprings at home, at school, kind of wherever. And then from there, I kind of progressed to doing back tucks. So, back handsprings without hands, essentially, off of elevated surfaces, my couch at home, my porch. And my mom was just like, yo, this is not safe. So she put me into a recreational gymnastics program at the Romulus Recreational Center in Romulus, Michigan. And it was a mommy and me class, super simple, basic stuff. Had like a balance beam and some panel mats and a couple like wedge mats for like forward rolls and things like that. Basic stuff if you know gymnastics. And we went up to, I remember distinctly, we had this one where we're supposed to like walk across a balance beam, and everyone's kind of like tottering along, and I just kind of ran across the balance beam and just really excelled in that recreational class. And as the story goes, the instructor told my mom, like, hey, this is probably not going to be advanced enough for what he's capable of. So if you want, you can enroll him at a gymnastics facility local to here. I went to Michigan Academy of Gymnastics and took a recreational class there. And then, they spotted some talent and potential. I was recruited to the boys team program, and the rest is kind of history. I fell in love with the sport, and it became a centering thing for me, and I didn't want to stop. So even through injuries, setbacks, and years and years of practice, I continued to do gymnastics, and that is how I got into gymnastics. Great question. Thank you for asking, because I get that a lot. How often do you feel you change your regimen? Well, incredibly frequently, because my style of training varies pretty widely. I enjoy movement. I enjoy feeling good. So I change the predominant mode of exercise, I would say maybe once every 3 or 4 months, just to challenge myself, test myself, and see if I can create any new adaptations in my body or create new skills or, find a new way that I enjoy to move. So I'd say once every 3 to 4 months, really. Want to learn how to handstand? Any tips you can give for a beginner? Diligence and practice. There are a lot of, handstand tutorials out there, a lot of bullshit that I see that is not accurate, but that's certainly something that I've taken notice of, and I'm trying to correct that by building out my own handstand program, so stay tuned for that. And I can certainly show you how to build yourself to a handstand, but biggest tip would be making sure that you have core strength and shoulder strength and stability. As an adult, is it too late to incorporate gymnastics in the gym or working out? Not necessarily. It depends on what you're asking as far as incorporating and learning gymnastics. If you're looking to learn elite level gymnastics as an adult, I would say you probably missed the bus on that one. However, even beginner to intermediate level skills can be extremely effective as far as a workout and just body coordination and mind-body connection in general. Gymnastics is incredible. Y'all don't get it, man. Gymnastics is next level stuff. The stuff you see me do, the form you see me do, it's not by mistake. These are things that I've trained for years, guys. And we're in this society where everything's so push button and instantaneous that you think that I just got out of bed and started doing this shit. I've been doing this shit. This is how I was raised in a discipline-based sport. You know what I mean? And that discipline means that I've had to do it repetitively over and over and over again. So it's not too late to incorporate gymnastics into your working out. However, you have to adjust your expectations of yourself and what you're going to be capable of, because it takes time to build. Even the skills I can do now, trust me, if you saw it in the first couple, you'd be like, oh, this kid's never gonna be able to do this. But like, obviously I can. So it's not too late. Do you have a workout routine or a plan I can follow? Of course I do. Not only can I build a personalized program for you through Wave Fitness, I also am building out my next set of programs, which are just what I do, how I work out. You know, some are intense, some are beginner level, some are just, you know, intermediate, but you can follow my programs. All that is linked in the description of this video, as always. And you can check those out. I promise you, you're gonna find something that will really help you change your body. But regardless of me or anyone else giving you, your friends, your mom, your dad, anybody a program, it doesn't matter at all what they tell you to do if you do not do it. So make sure that when you start a new program or something like that, there's follow through. You have to follow through on what it is that you want. Oh, this is a great question. I get this one all the time too. Why are you so damn handsome? I don't know. I guess I'm just lucky, I guess. Thanks. I appreciate it. Okay. What is your motto? I got a couple mottos. Ride the wave for one of them, which essentially means the next one, control the controllables, which means don't stress yourself over all the things that are outside of your realm, your circle of influence, right? There are going to be tons of things that you will never have any tangible control over, and there's no point in you wasting your energy in fretting over it, having anxiety about it, worrying about it, if you are not going to be able to impact it, right? So just riding the wave means setting an intention, staying the course, and riding the wave, controlling the controllables, so the highs, the lows, what have you, of the journey en route to that goal. It's the same as controlling the controllables, right? You can set the outcome. You might not be able to dictate the path in like every step, but you can control your attitude, your energy, your effort, and your ability to consistently execute. Is that natural possible to get a body like you? It's amazing. Which leads me to believe that this question is asking, am I natural? Which I'll answer in two parts. First and foremost, simply, yes. I don't even trust, I wouldn't trust any injectable for me. If I was on some type of, and I don't even know what I would look like, what I would feel like, I have no desire to find out. I'm already jacked enough. Could you imagine? I would look monstrous. It'd be pretty freaking scary, I imagine. So yes, I'm natural, and yes, it is possible to get your body built up to something like what I've been able to build for myself through a lot of hard work, dedication, education, and nutrition, and hard work and dedication, education, and nutrition in a repetitive process. And now it gets mundane, and sometimes you don't want to do it, but you got to do it if you really want the outcome, and that's how you do it. But yeah, it is possible, 100%, and I appreciate the compliment. I'm not seeing it right now, but someone asked me about creatine and my thoughts on it. I think creatine's a great supplement. It is one of the most clinically studied supplements that you can use for effectiveness. Creatine helps your body regenerate ATP quicker, right? ATP is what creates muscle action, adenosine triphosphate. When you activate a muscle, it becomes adenosine diphosphate. And so to reestablish that bond, having creatine, a higher concentration of creatine helps re-establish that bond and reform ATP so you can activate your muscles more. Water weight retention. Oh, is it gonna help make me gain weight? First of all, two-part question. It can help you gain weight, but it can also help you lose weight, right? Because a hydrated muscle cell is a healthy muscle cell, a more active muscle cell. So it will help you retain more water for that muscle action. However, you'll also be able to provide more of a workload because your body has more fuel for the muscle action. So you can lose weight in a caloric deficit diet properly formulated. You can lose weight also from using it because, first of all, water weight is transient. It will leave your body if it's you'll pee it out. It's water weight. But you can have a higher workload, so you can gain weight or lose weight or maintain on it. It really depends on how your diet's formulated, but creatine is great. And on the same note, I think a lot of people get confused about like what natural means, because I actually I think I used to be confused about this as well. When you say someone has a natural physique, you're saying that they have not used like performance enhancing drugs like steroids and stuff like that, right? Like natural does not mean that you haven't used supplements of any kind, dietary supplements. It means that you haven't used like steroids and stuff like that, which is what people typically think when they think of unnatural, right? So you can be natural by using supplements, and it is perfectly acceptable to do so. And I highly recommend it because the gaps in our current nutrition, like the way that food is processed and how easily available it is, you're missing out on a lot of key nutrients. So I think it's almost vital that you do supplement your diet with, proper vitamins, protein, pre-workout if you need it, you know what I'm saying? So it's all up to you, but natural simply means that you haven't used things like steroids, right? Which I have not, and I'm happy to say that. And I appreciate those who say I do and love to discredit my effort, but I just want you to know that you too can have incredible gains without that. You just gotta work harder. Do I still wrestle? No, I haven't wrestled since I left NXT, really. I thought about it a few times, and then I'm just like, I don't really feel like doing it, man. Like, I just don't. So no, I don't still wrestle. There's another one. Are you on steroids, bro? I'm just asking. You have very good muscle. Someone says, your favorite book, your favorite Bible book. I have a few. Right now, I'm actually reading through Proverbs. It's just a bunch of, wise sayings, and I'm really digging that. I really enjoy the book of Matthew. I just like reading about Jesus, you know what I'm saying? What a guy. But book of Romans is also great. I could go off a couple of them. Job is really inspiring to see the persistence of someone going through some really intense trials, and just the relationship of, read the book of Job if you want to understand what I'm trying to talk about, perseverance and persistence in the face of adversity. I know that was a roundabout way to answer that question, but short and simple, there's a lot. There's quite a few. So as I read and get more spiritually developed through it, maybe I can develop a solidified favorite. Someone's asking about meditation. Like they're always trying to get into meditation, ways to be consistent, apps, programs. First of all, it is a practice, right? Which means that you have to come back to it time and time again, daily. I use Insight Timer. It's a great app. It's free. It has a lot of free guided meditations. It has a timer that you can use. You can set it for your own personal preferences, this, that, the other. And I wanna start building out some guided meditations for my new app and my new programs too. So if that's something you guys be interested in, let me know, because that'd be really cool to start doing that as well. Not to say that I'm some like mage or guru on all this stuff, but like just to help you calm down and like sit and understand where to place the focus. It's not like I use meditation as a way to calm my mind so I can gain insight and clarity onto what I need to be doing, or to establish with intention my mindset and my attitude for the day. That's really what I'm using it for, and to help co-create my life and kind of manifest what it is. You have to be clear in what you want in order to get it, right? Like if you're not clear, you can't attain it. So that's what I use the practice for, and so, or one of the reasons. And so Insight Timer is a great tool, okay? Insight Timer. And then I get this one, we'll go off on this one because I get this question a lot, actually. A couple people ask in a couple different ways, but people ask me, how do I maintain the motivation? Like, where do I maintain this motivation and this energy, right? On the good and bad days. Predominantly, it's about being disciplined more so than being motivated, right? Like, discipline is so much greater than motivation, because on the bad days, you're not motivated, right? Like on the so-called bad days, those are the days where you're not feeling so great about it. Like today, I was even feeling that way, actually. It's about being disciplined and knowing that just because I'm not feeling motivated doesn't mean that I don't need to do it. Like, it probably means that I need to do it more, actually. And so discipline is about making sure that you're doing the things that are challenging you in order to progress you in whatever realm that is. That you could be at work, like if you have a work project and you're like, maybe I'll just do it tomorrow, I really don't feel like it. No, like that's the day that you really need to make progress, or at least get some action towards it. Sometimes you have to just go through the motions, right? Sometimes you have to just get it done in order to keep your mind and keep your energy in line with what it is that you're trying to do. So I'm not always motivated. That's the short answer. I'm really not. It comes in waves, but the discipline has to be solid. And that is a muscle. You have to train that discipline in order to be solid on it, right? If we are talking about me getting motivated though, how do I motivate myself, or how do I get that motivation? You have to surround your mind with motivating things, people who motivate you, motivational quotes. It could be anything, really. Whatever gets you going, that is where you need to have that input for yourself, right? It won't always be easily available. You'll have to seek it out sometimes. Sometimes you have to seek that motivation. Sometimes you have to move on something before you're motivated to be doing that thing. So that answer, it's really challenging to give you a concise answer. 3 short and simple points. Discipline is greater than motivation, okay? So doing it even when you don't feel like doing it. Motivation comes sometimes after the action. So you have to get moving towards it, and then you'll be motivated because you're already doing it and you're like, well, screw it, I'm already here, I might as well keep going. Motivation is something that you have to seek out sometimes, right? Like you have to surround yourself with the information. You can go on, you can rig your Instagram feed to be motivational. You can rig your YouTube feed to be motivational. You can reconfigure your social group to be more motivational. Like if your friends aren't motivated, if none of your friends are motivated, you're gonna have a hard time finding that within yourself, right? So you have to surround yourself with it. That's the third point. Surround yourself with like minds of motivation. And I mean like-minded in the sense of like they're trying to get after it and putting in the work in order to really bring it to fruition. So surround yourself with that energy. And if you can't surround yourself with it physically, again, rig your environment to be motivational for you. So whatever that takes for you. It could be a motivational video. It could be a podcast. It could be a poster on your wall, a cat poster. I don't know. Whatever it is that keeps you engaged and gets you fired up, you have to surround yourself with that. I hope that this has been helpful. I hope I gave you guys some insight, and it's actually pretty fun. So I'll probably do another one of these, maybe not within the next month or so, but sometime soon, and we'll get more specific and we'll get a little more granular as far as details, and we'll go specific as far as like what the topic is. I think that will give us a better opportunity to really dive deep into some things and really learn from each other and really gain some value and insight on what it is that we are trying to create and what we want to learn together, and what we can do to kind of help build each other up, right? Guys, I really appreciate all the questions that you sent in. It was super fun to read through them, super interesting to have to ponder them and really think deeply on what it is that underlies my philosophy to answer those questions. So thank you again for submitting those. Guys, I really appreciate the support. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button on this video, and turn on those post notifications so you know when I'm coming back with a new video. If you want to support me and increase your own health and fitness, check out the links in the description of this video for personalized coaching, for nutrition, meal plans, supplements. Guys, these are things that I use consistently, and I know that they will help change your life again, but you have to do the work. Don't let that scare you from doing it, because it's going to change you into the person that you want to be. I promise you, exactly who you want to be is just on the other side of you doing the work that you don't want to do. If you gain nothing else from this video, nothing else, let this be the one nugget that you take. Discipline is greater than motivation, okay? Be disciplined in all that you do, be consistent in all that you do, and you will surely find yourself where you intend to be. Thank you guys for joining me on this video. Again, hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, and stay with me. I'm looking forward to doing this again with you guys soon. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the time. Stacey, Ervin Jr. signing off. Ride the wave.